Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. It's wonderful to see such a big crowd here tonight. We're glad to be back. I'm going to introduce Bruce Steinberg, Randy Martin, and Erica Denker real quickly here before we view the film. Can you hear me okay? Is this booming? Because it's booming here. Okay. So good? Okay. Our first writer is Bruce Steinberg, and he's the author of 4 novels, and he's written and co-produced a stage play with a successful run at Naperville's Center Stage Theater, edited and illustrated Allen's Rocket, a first chapter book authored and published by his son, and he is also a columnist with Silent Sports magazine. He adds that he's happily married and will stay that way if we include it in his bio. And he wrote the excerpt we're about to see, and it was filmed by Randy Martin. And since retiring from 39 years of teaching at Northern Illinois University, Randy has worked on writing and filmmaking, including a documentary on writers' groups. His wife, Danute Docuviane, is the creative force behind it. Erica Denker stars in this film. Erica is a 12-year-old 7th grader from St. Charles. She has performed in local theater productions since age 7. She loves to read, ride her bike, dance, and play the viola, and to watch Gravity Falls with friends. She says that the Cheryl's Only Tunnel, which is the name of the excerpt, the Cheryl's Only Tunnel has been a great experience, and collaborating with Bruce and Randy has been a pleasure and an honor. In the film you're about to see, Erica Denker performs a monologue titled The Cheryl's Only Tunnel. And if anybody has trouble seeing, feel free to just get up and move closer. I know for the film portion, it's important to see the film, so feel free to kind of move closer. So, filmed by Randy Martin and Danute Docuviane, and edited by Randy Martin, The Cheryl's Only Tunnel was selected by Erica from Bruce Steinberg's novel, The Widow's Son. What is asked of all of you here this evening is just to imagine yourselves as children in the aftermath of the blizzard of 1967.
Hi, I'm Erica Denker, and I was the actress in The Widow's Son, Cheryl's Only Tunnel monologue. What you're going to see is pretty much if you imagine a family, and there's been a death in the family, and so the family is heartbroken, they've been torn apart. And imagine all the pressure on one kid, the oldest kid in the family, but they're still only like 11 or 12 years old, and they have to put the whole family back together again. That's pretty much what this whole monologue and this whole story is about. When the weathermen say it snowed 23 inches at O'Hare Airport, that doesn't matter much. On my street, with all the wind, the snow piled up over 8 feet. During the last few days, Cheryl's been tunneling. It begins at the back of the house, beside a large dumping of dugout snow, and a stick holding a cardboard sign that says, Cheryl's Only. I kneel down and enter the tunnel made for Cheryl's Only. Although there's only one way to crawl, I'm losing sense of where I am. It's the whiteness around me, my breathing echoing inside. The tunnel couldn't be all that long, but it seems to take forever for me to reach her at the end. Hopefully there's room for 2, just in case there could be more than one Cheryl in this world. I have my doubts. I hear you, she says. You're not allowed in here. Her voice sounds convinced that sooner or later she would be found out. We both know how snoopy David is, and she looks surprised when I pull my parka hood and Dad's goggles off. Hello, I say. Are you Cheryl? Maybe I am. It's a neat tunnel. other kids helped me build it. Where are they? They're not allowed in. They're not Cheryl's. Did you tell them that before they helped you build it? Cheryl shakes her head. All her curls fill with millions of tiny snow crystals, and her motion makes many of them fly out, float for a second, then fall. That doesn't seem fair, I say. She glares at me. I should know better about fairness. A picture of 3 astronauts is poked into the wall with a small pencil. I know who they are without looking too close. Astronauts Grissom, White, Chafee. Beside them is a picture of their burned-out Apollo space capsule. Is Mom still taking you to see the psychologist? Cheryl clenches her jaw tight. Is it doing any good? She shakes her head, and more snow crystals fly away from her curls. I lean into her shoulder. She stutters when she exhales, as though she's trying to keep from crying. Cheryl, will you tell me one thing, just one thing about what's happened to you since Dad died? Snow crystals brush against my cheek. I try again. I'm not a psychologist. I won't blab. I'll get up and leave this tunnel right now, if you say so, for good. But please tell me one thing. After all this time, will you please tell me one thing? Anything. Cheryl's stare moves to follow a tear falling down my cheek. And I wonder how that one tear, after all these months of shutting down, finally worked its way out. I was supposed to go with Dad to Atlanta, Cheryl says, and she lowers her head to her hands. It was a school day. You couldn't have gone with him. He asked me, and I could have gone, says Daddy's little girl. She tied Dad up in knots with her voice, and her smile, and her tears. She's right, I know. Dad would have taken her if she really wanted to go. There's nothing Mom could have done to stop it, even on a school day. I wait for Cheryl to raise her head. When she does, I see her face is flush and hot. Why didn't you go? I say, and the tears pour out of her. She tells me like a rat-a-tat-tat, 'cause he let David help him in the basement, not me. And then he asked you to use the drill with him, not me. And then he asked me to go with. I told him to go away. Go away was the last thing I said to Dad. You didn't kill Dad. All I had to do was make him stop for one bathroom. The whole thing would have been different. What if Dave or I went with Dad? We could have stopped it too. But he asked me. And I said no, because I was being... She leans her head back and sags, her tears falling unwiped. I can't say Cheryl's got me under her control. Not the way she had Dad. But that doesn't mean I can't do what Dad would do right now. I put my arm over her shoulders. You look like an angel, I tell her. Like Dad often told her. Like he would if he were alive today. You didn't know, I say. You had no way of knowing. It's not your fault. Her little body flutters, fills her parka, then deflates. She pinches the picture of the astronauts and tugs it off the snow wall. She brings it close to her face, and her eyes twitch back and forth. Dead astronauts, I say. Walter Cronkite cried on TV. Cheryl says more thoughtfully, dead fathers. She drops the picture. Every day, I feel like I'm the only one. For all these months since Dad died, it's my heart I've heard beating in my chest. They're my eyes watching the house fall apart, and Mom falling apart with it. I see the rooms without my father, just the pictures of him, looking more distant and of no use to me except to bring my hearts pounding to my ears. I've lost him. My father. With my arm over her shoulders, squeezing, I feel like I'm soothing my own feelings. We cry together. David scampers about over our heads. His voice booms into the tunnel. Hey, where are you guys? The snow roof creaks and pops and sends a pile of snow down on our heads, along with one of David's legs. We grab his leg and bite, and David wiggles hard, yelling at us to stop. The snow roof and David fall on us now. All I hear is Cheryl's laughter, pounding into the air, loud enough to reach the entire length of our street. Everything seems to stop, to listen to the collapse of the Cheryl's Only tunnel.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, 3 times. Very good.
I'm Bruce Steinberg. I'm the author of The Little Son and the person who knew that Erica Danker would do a great job. Normally writers get to say something before we start, and I'd like to thank Ann and Kevin. You have no idea how much they helped us, and Water Street for this great venue. A lot goes into a film. What you saw was one take, 4 cameras, and that's Randy right there who did a fabulous job, painstaking job putting it all together. And his wife, Danute Dokuviene, right in the back. Raise your hand, Danute. If I can brag a little bit, the piano playing, that was my son, Alan. Where are you, Alan? He composed it and he played it. And along with her mom and dad and grandparents and some friends, one take, Erica Danker. Could you stand up, Erica? There she is. Thank you so much.